Today I'm going to talk to you guys about an idea I have came up with to pass a new law stating that every individual in the state of Texas should have a mandatory driving test each year instead of just having the initial one when you turn 16. So you have one 16, 17, 18, year after, every single year, just to freshen up on driving skills, make sure we're not forgetting any laws, and mainly to just make sure everyone's paying attention while we're out there driving. Now, Lubbock is ranked second for the most aggressive driving city in the state of Texas, which is incredible. Texas has a 9.9 deaths per 100,000 residents in the whole state of Texas. That's a that's a very bad death rate. I was just thinking when I was starting this speech, and I was wondering, well, why does Texas only enforce one driving test? I mean, you're 16, you take a driving test, and you don't have to worry about another driving test ever again. I think it should be mandatory to pass one each year, and then also if you drive a semi truck, a Mack truck, any big vehicle, city, you work for the city, anything like that, you should pass two tests each year, every 6 months. There's a few facts about some accidents and fatalities caused by Lubbock drivers, city of Lubbock drivers, and I'm from the Lubbock Cooper community, and we've experienced several sad losses the past decade, and one is Kelsey Vines, and she was killed on just south of Woodrow by a man, excuse me, by a man going 70 miles an hour, by a 7-year-old man traveling about 65 miles an hour. He veered into Kelsey Vines' lane and hit her head on. Kelsey Vines, it was fatal. She ended up passing away, announced dead on the scene. Very tragic. And one of my friends, I graduated. His name's Jerry Tringrove. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but he was hit by a truck from the city of Lubbock not too long ago. And if y'all have any questions or y'all want more information about that, there's plenty of information on LubbockOnline.com and also on everythinglubbock.com for each of those stories. Another story I have is myself. Yesterday I was involved in a pretty severe rear end accident. I was heading south on the interstate, and I was in the exit lane trying to get exit onto 82nd Street. The traffic was so bad we came to a complete stop, and I was inching my way through traffic. I remember letting off the brake. I scooted up a couple feet. Next thing I know, I got smashed by a City of Lubbock sewage truck. He claimed that he was going 50 miles an hour, wasn't paying attention, and he um, he claimed that his boot was stuck under the brake, which was the police officer writing the report didn't believe that at all. But what I'm getting at is the city of Lubbock has accidents all the time. Okay, I understand that, but at the same time, how difficult are their tests for their drivers? Their tests should be way more difficult than what they have been apparently, because they're not hard enough to make them worry about their job or hurting someone else with driving those big vehicles. I actually suffer whiplash, and I have a fractured rib on this side of my chest. There's several aspects that occur to you when you're involved in a wreck, whether you're the one getting hit, whether you're the one that hit somebody rear-ended, you killed somebody, you rolled over, you ran into a tree, a pole, stop sign, anything like that. The physical, mental, and financial aspects. The physical aspects are involved fatalities and lifelong injuries. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. If you accidentally kill somebody because you're not a good enough driver yet, or you're not prepared to be out there on the roads, that's going to stick with you forever, just like a lifelong injury. Now, the mental aspects caused by a car accident, I was angry, I was shocked, I I had I had a small lack of energy, and you can find that at statisticbrain.com. All the mental aspects that are caused by fatal car wrecks or not even fatal car wrecks, and also there's a financial which affects everybody. Everybody's worried about their money. Now, say you don't have insurance and you total your car, or and it was your fault. You wrapped your car around a pole or something. I mean, you're losing lots of money. Just what if you're upside down on your finance for that vehicle? There's lots of things to look at. And what if it's not your fault? Someone totals your car and they don't have insurance. Now, what is the city going to do about that? They haven't showed any effort in trying to limit the accidents or trying to make the drivers test more difficult. They haven't tried much of anything. They're not going to be successful in lowering the death rates that the state of Texas has if the state of Texas does not improve the driving law. The government of Texas has full capability and power to regulate driving law, such as enforcing a mandatory driving test each year for every citizen, and enforcing a mandatory of at least 2 driving tests for city employees, semi-truck drivers, Mack truck drivers, any of the big vehicles. They should all have 2 tests each year, just to freshen up, to make sure they're missing out on any laws or anything like that. If the government will do this successfully, they should have no problem lowering the fatality rates and increase the people's ideas and everything like that to make the rates lower and lower as each year goes by.